Hi everyone and welcome back to the next diecast. For today's video I'll be showing you and reviewing this 1/18 scale Jeep Wrangler Willys made by Maisto. This is a pretty cool model from Maisto. Currently you can find it in this really cool looking metallic yellow and red, and they both have the soft top up like this, and Maisto also makes the version of this model with the top down, and that comes in white and I believe this copper orange color. All of them are pretty much frequently seen at Sam's Club and other wholesale clubs. You can find this on Amazon and Diecast Model Wholesale and what have you. Wholesale clubs have it for usually around $15, and elsewhere you can find it for around like between $25 to maybe up to $40, depending on which site you actually buy it from. But overall, this is a really interesting and cool model from Maisto. So let's go ahead and get into the details here. We'll start up here with the front of the model. Maisto did a good job with the headlights, as you can see here. There's no pegs to be seen, which is pretty nice to see. On Maisto's other Jeep model, the Wrangler TJ, that one has like the pegs in the centers of the lights, but on this one you don't see that, which is nice to see. Lenses are nice and flush with the body, and they do have kind of a texture to them as well. There's a nice Jeep badge up here that's embossed on there very nicely in silver. This grille here is made of metal, and it's actually a see-through grille as well. You can see the radiator behind these slats there. It's kind of hard to see it from this angle, but it is there. The bumper is done in plastic and it's nice and sturdy. There's actually these little tow hooks on the front here too. And Maisto also did these little fog lights down here. And they're actually separate plastic pieces. They didn't just paint them on, which usually they'll just paint on fog lights, but on this one they went the extra mile to paint to not paint them on, make them actual separate pieces, which is a nice touch. Wheels are nicely done, and this one, unlike the other Maisto Jeep Wranglers, this one does have the brake discs and calipers detailed as well. These rims are the real rims that are available on the Willys rendition of the Jeep Wrangler. They're also on the Renegade too, I think, too. Which is cool to see. Of course, you do have full suspension on all four wheels, and much more so on this because it is a raised suspension because it's a Jeep Wrangler, and also full steering, which is another cool touch. Paintwork on this model, I would say, is very good. The metallic hue you can really see a lot better in like direct sunlight. But this color was available on the real Jeep Wrangler Willys and on the regular Jeep Wrangler too. It's called Baja Yellow. And the funny thing is, I think this wasn't available actually until 2015, but Maisto labels this as a 2014 model. So technically this should be a 2015 model, but it's not really like a big deal or anything like that. There's a trail rated badge on either side of the car. You can see it right there. The trail rated with like the mountain range underneath it. Willys embossed on either side of the hood in that kind of cool looking font there. Mirrors are actually nice and sturdy. They're not going to fall off anytime soon. The top's done in plastic, of course, because the real top is made of fabric. A little bit too shiny, I would say. I wish they kind of added more of like a fabric effect to it. They do add kind of like these ripples or wrinkles in the front and in the back here to kind of make it look more realistic than it actually is. So that's cool that they kind of went that distance to do that. But having kind of, I guess, more of like a fabric look would be kind of nice. Moving along to the back here, full-size spare tire. Nice to see. Taillights could use a bit more detailing. They're a little bit they're kind of too clear looking. When you see, you kind of wave your finger through it, and you can see your finger through the light. And there's a small peg actually in each one too. But from a distance, it's not really, you can't really tell. Bumper back here is also nice and sturdy. And the door latches also look very good as well on the door handles and on the front doors and back here on this door handle. Opening features, we'll start back here with this rear opening door back here. We'll open that up like so. Nothing to really see in here. It's not textured or anything like that. It just kind of stops where the back seat is. There is some detailing on this panel, however. There's some vents on here, it looks like. There's this kind of piece here. And this does lock into place when you close it, so that's also kind of a cool touch, I would say. You close it like that, it kind of locks into place. And what I like about this model is that Maisto actually included the hood latches that are found on the real Wrangler JK, and like on like the Willys version and all the versions of the Jeep Wrangler. Maisto also had these on their older version of the Wrangler, like the Wrangler TJ. So you just kind of flip those over a little bit like that, and the hood opens like so. A bit hard to do with just one hand, but there we go. Detailing on the engine, I would say, is fairly well done. It is just kind of like one plastic piece, but there is some coloring in there. There's the Jeep inscription in the center here, the 3.6 liter VVT, a couple little warning labels. There could be a little bit more detailing, but I would say in terms of Maisto's recent efforts, this one I would say compares pretty well. And is good, I would say, if you compare it to other like single piece engines that Maisto has actually made. Under the hood, no underspray. There's actually some detailing and it's fully painted, which is nice to see. We'll close that up. Kind of hard to close with these hood latches. You gotta kind of pull those out of the way. I'll just leave it like that. It's kind of hard to close with just one hand. Doors open like so. We'll check out the interior next. Detailing on this interior, I would say, is very nicely done. Door panels have kind of a nice leather pattern to them. The handles are nicely replicated, and also as well as the lower speakers down here, as you can see. There's some silver detailing on them as well. Odd thing is that these are full door panels, even though this is like a half door model, so that's kind of odd to see. On the open top versions, Maisto actually does put in the proper half door panels. You can see those on either side here. They're nicely well detailed, I would say. Seats look very good. They actually have two different textures on them. In the center, it kind of has like a rougher texture than the outside and on the headrest, which is nice to see. I think those can come as like colored inserts on some versions of the Wrangler. This one, they're just all black. But the fact that Maisto added two different textures, that's actually really cool. They don't often do that with their seats. They don't usually pay that much attention to a detail. But the seats are nicely well shaped and nicely sized. And even the back seat, they detail that well, even though you can like barely see it. So that's nice to see. Detailing on the dashboard is very nice. It has like a leather pattern to it on the top portion. All the buttons are nicely detailed. They're all separately labeled in the center stack there, as well as around the GPS screen. The vents are done in silver, and they also look very well detailed. Even the shifter kind of has like a pattern on it too, like a leather texture. You kind of see the texture of the seats a bit better on this side, rough and smooth. Steering wheel has lots of buttons on it, and they're all nicely labeled with the Jeep logo down in the center there. The pedals aren't going to come silver. I actually made those silver with a silver Sharpie, just to kind of add a little bit of extra, I guess, detailing on this interior. That's pretty dark on the inside of it. But overall, I would say in terms of Maisto's recent efforts, this is a really nicely detailed interior especially. Go ahead and close those up. Undercarriage, let's take a look. Not really too much to see. They do the chrome exhaust pipes and everything underneath there. Other than that, not really that much to say. You can see like the differential and like the steering column and all that stuff. Wish they maybe add a little bit more color, but you don't really look underneath there too much anyway. Overall, this is a cool model. If you want to add like a Jeep to your collection, don't want to spend too much money. I like how Maisto offers both versions with the top up and the top down and all different colors. But overall, I would say it's a really nice model, especially for the Sam's Club price that I got this at. I hope this is helpful with determining if you want this model or not. As always, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, and also be sure to follow my Instagram page, Nick's Diecast page with no spacing, and all lowercase letters. Thanks for watching.